Combat sports in SoCal. The Commerce Casino, Commerce, California. There's Red Owl Boxing on the road, this contest. 6 rounds or less in the featherweight division. Our judges scoring ringside, we have Joel Faberstein, along with Daniel Sandoval and Carla Caiz. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. She enters wearing black with gold lettering on the scale. She registered an official 124.5 pounds. Tonight, this 4-time world title challenger enters the Red Owl boxing ring for the 46th time as a pro, with a record of 27 victories against 12 losses, 6 draws, 7 of those victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Saltillo, Coahuila, Mexico, Maria Polvorita Salinas. Her counterpart across the ring in the red corner, wearing white with pink trim, she weighed in at the featherweight limit of 126 pounds. Tonight, as an amateur, she received the ultimate honor of representing the USA at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And now, she enters the major leagues of the sport, making her pro debut inside the Red Owl boxing ring. Fighting out of Fitchburg, Massachusetts, Shakilya Ellis. Our referee with final instructions, Thomas Taylor.
Okay, real quick, coaches, ladies. Top of the letters here up is going to be good. Same thing here. Top of the letters up is going to be good. You got my instructions in the back. Protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands. Touch them up. Back to your corner, ladies.
So a historic professional debut for Shakilya Ellis here tonight. Wanted to jump right into the deep end. I don't know if you saw this on social media, Sean, but Ellis has been calling out Gabriela Fundora already. She hasn't had a pro fight yet.
Hey, listen, she knows where she comes from.
That is self-belief.
And she knows what she has the ability to do. I think we're about to see it for the first time in a lengthy fight. But watch this young lady. She's very, very sharp.
Round 1 scheduled for 6 2-minute rounds. Maria Salinas doing what she does, the hard-charging 4-time world challenger. It's hard to think of a fighter who's had a more agonizing career on that front. You look at her title opportunities: a split draw, a majority decision, another split draw, and a split decision. One card another way, and this is a former world champion that we're looking at right now.
I'm familiar with that kind of.
Yes, you are.
I'm familiar with those kind of statistics, and I know how it goes. But we're seeing it right here from Miss Maria right now. She's plodding forward. She's coming forward. She's trying to make this a fight. I think she knows what's ahead of her, what Miss Ellis presents in the ring. So I think more than anything, like I said before, Maria has to figure out a way to make this a fight.
Of course, in addition to being an Olympian, Shakilya Ellis, a world amateur champion as well. She beat Beatrice Ferreira in the finals, has a couple of wins over Ferreira, who's become one of the bigger stars presently in women's boxing.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the name.
Part of the Matchroom stable. As Ellis showing that long reach.
Yeah, I love it. She's 5'4". At this weight class, she's relatively tall. The reach, there's no mistaking how long her arms are. And it's one thing to have those kind of attributes, but to know how to use them. That's what I really like about Miss Ellis. She knows how to use those long arms.
A chopping right hand on the inside there from Ellis. And that's a heavy jab that she's been using here in the opening round as well. Final 10 seconds as Ellis places another beautiful right hand.
There you go. Starting to pick it up a little bit right there at the end of that round.
And the first professional round of Shakilya Ellis is officially in the books.
Just fired the home for that uppercut right there at the end. Because she keeps coming in with her fucking head down. Keep it up top, fight up top, bam, bam. But anytime she come in,
see Maria Salinas with her husband, Sammy Gutierrez. Salinas' daughter, also a professional fighter as well, Ruby Gutierrez. We saw here on DAZN back in May in the championing mental health card.
That's big news. Look at this.
Salinas just bringing pure aggression here in this round. A lot of those shots caught on the arms of Shakilya Ellis, but nonetheless.
Nonetheless, I appreciate the approach. You don't come in here knowing that you're in the ring with an Olympian, someone who's making their debut and looking to be all this and that. Wipe that. That doesn't mean anything. I'm going to come in here and operate the way that I do. I love that effort from Maria.
And without that effort, Sean, again, we were talking about the dimensions of Salinas, the difficulties that she has because of that. There's a version of this fight where it is incredibly easy and relaxed for Shakilya Ellis.
Absolutely.
But Selena trying to ensure that that is not the case.
Yeah, I mean, that moment right there where Maria has her back on the ropes and Miss Ellis right there just simply teeing off and throwing those good long punches, that's the kind of fight that she wants this to be. It's the kind of fight she has to make it be, because Miss Selena is not just going to give it to her.
Salinas tries to come over the top with that left hand. Steady pressure of Salinas continuing here.
Whoa.
Being soaked up by Shakilya Ellis.
Ellis is slippery. Good combination right there.
I know,
from
15
Salinas.
seconds here. And let's send it over to Ray Flores with more on this matchup.
Well, Shakilya Ellis, who was a standout U.S. Olympian, was simply dominant over this past season's Team Boxing League, as she's been dominant thus far in her first 2 professional rounds. She competed in 16 total rounds in Team Boxing League this past season and won all of them by unanimous decision, meaning she was perfect throughout the course of the season. She also secured 1 knockout and feels that the momentum that she acquired over this past summer's Team Boxing League will greatly benefit her in her long-awaited professional debut here tonight. And Corey and Sean, so far so good for Shakilya Ellis as she transitions into the professional ranks.
Thank you so much, Ray. Well, and you were there, you saw it. You can speak to how difficult this is. Shakilya Ellis won every round and did so unanimously. No one thought she ever lost a round.
Not one judge thought that she lost a round, and that is virtually impossible. Shakilya Ellis proved that to be wrong over the course of Team Boxing League this past season, Corey.
Shakilya Ellis looking for a shutout here tonight, Sean.
And that sounds a lot like Miss Fandora, right? So we got one that's further along as a professional who's very dominant. Right here, Miss Ellis trying to finish the job. I actually like to see her pick it up. I feel like she came out the first round kind of flat, looked a little slower than I'm used to seeing her, and it seems like she's picking it up a little bit now, finding a little more comfort with this being, could be that as well. Before, it's only been 1 round. Now she's got 6. She probably came out here, the team came out trying to pace themselves, find a rhythm, things like that. Nothing wrong with it. But I want to see her pick it up, be a little sharper, a little crisper from the outside.
That's a crisp right hand that Ellis just landed. And again, we go back to the difficulty of the matchup for Ellis right out of the gate. This is a woman in Salinas who is still presently a world title contender.
Right. And the thing that we're seeing from Ellis that we haven't really pointed out yet is also her defense. We've talked a lot about the attributes, the length, the reach, all those things, but she's also very, very slippery. Look at that right there. I mean, that being able to just take that punch away from your opponent when your opponent knows they got you square, it defeats you just as much as getting hit.
A short chopping right hand on the inside there from Ellis a moment ago. Ellis, of course, the sister of Ronald Ellis and the current welterweight contender, Rashidi Ellis.
So I appreciate her trying to separate herself, but I personally would prefer that she use that as momentum, get her a little further along when people can connect you to success as a professional athlete, you get there a little quicker than if you're just doing it on your own. You got those kind of names, her brother Rashidi, you know, use those names to your advantage.
Showing the hand speed is Ellis right at the bell. Speaking of great women's fighters, check out Chris Cyborg taking in the action here tonight.
She knows who I am.
She does?
She asked me for a picture, man.
I think a lot of people know who you
Made
are.
me feel special. Yeah, but listen, when it's somebody from another sport, it's something
Right,
special
greatness
to
from
me.
another sport, of course.
Yeah,
Of course. I felt the same way meeting Eddie Murray.
Let's see what we get from this round right here. Those slick punches from the outside, the 1-2s.
Maria, vamos a
Hopefully
cuatro.
we get some moments of her being slick. Look at that right there. Just being able to control the range, that slickness with the defense, being able to dip. When you're a tall guy, tall fighter, get under a shorter fighter's punches is a hard thing, and Miss Ellis is making it look very easy.
So round 5, of course, this one's scheduled for 6. Shakilya Ellis in her professional debut, taking on the 4-time world title challenger, Maria Salinas. Shakilya Ellis, whose origins, much like yourself, were in football before she became a boxer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about that.
All right. Well, that's all I've got. She
Oh,
played
that's all you
football.
got? I'm looking for
I
it.
don't have her stat. I don't have her yards per carry.
I'm looking in the notes like, where was that? Awesome. I'm finding that more and more, too, where boxers, I've said this for some time now, boxers are way more athletic and capable of doing so much more than people expect. And right there for a young lady to be a football player nonetheless. Shout out to my wife. I know she's watching. She was a high school flag football player as well.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, quarterback.
Good work here from Salinas. A little bit of hustle on the inside. That left hand broke through. Final minute of round 5. With a left hand, just grazes the chin there of Ellis. And Salinas, a championship level fighter, she's used to 10-round fights. She's used to this being maybe the time when she starts to really step on the gas, but running out of time and in need of something big in these final 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to get as a young lady, especially when you don't have the attributes needed. Super power, you know, that kind of power with either the right hand or the left hook. You know, she has slow feet. So, you know, I think what we've got from her is the most that we're going to get from Miss Maria. But like I said before, a great account on not coming in here and just laying down and accepting defeat. And big overhands coming nonetheless. Look at that.
Got caught with a couple flush right hands there from Ellis instead. 1 round remaining in this one.
Every round's going to look pretty similar when it comes to this. Look at that defense. That's what I was talking about, just being able to step back, know what's coming before it comes. You know, very intuitive is Miss Ellis tonight, and I think that's just a part of her nature. I see that from her brothers as well. But right there, Maria, not being afraid to punch, not being afraid to try to make this a fight. Ellis taking what she wants when she wants it. And Maria right there, and I love the fact that the crowd's encouraging Maria as well.
Let's push the pace a bit, but don't do nothing stupid.
Sixth and a final round, and if you're a fan of women's boxing, you've been watching Maria Salinas for a long time, at least a decade on the championship level, but Shakilya Ellis trying to usher in a new era. And Ray Flores back in the commentary booth. What are you hearing between rounds?
Trainer of Maria Salinas, and they said that he wants her to get on the inside and close the distance. He said you got to seek her out, rip her body, and put together combinations. That's what I want to see out of Maria Salinas.
Certainly, I mean, the information's picture perfect. It's what you want, but, you know, is she capable? I'm more curious to see what is Miss Ellis going to do as this fight comes to an end. She's become now front foot dominant, and I want to see what kind of adjustment she makes with this.
Salinas still looking for that overhand left. And the problem for Salinas, getting to the inside, generally a good strategy for her.
Absolutely.
But right now, she needs to be looking to sit on something and look for a home run.
Yeah, she's got to look for the home run, but again, you're looking at Ellis and everything that Ellis can bring. You see that uppercut. I mean, right there on the dime, that thing just landed on the nose.
Yeah, that was about a 4-inch uppercut flush. What a shot from Shakilya Ellis, and we're now inside the final minute of the contest.
Keep pressing her, keep pressing her.
You know, we get to the end of this fight, and we know that Ellis is going to win this one, and I'm just trying to figure out what do you need to make people become more aware of you. She doesn't have power. We can see that. She's slick. She's a good boxer. I think she's got to be faster, and she's got to be slicker. There has to be something that's more eye-catching that makes people say, oh, yeah, this girl is bad news.
Those combinations look pretty good there a moment ago.
Yeah, she's definitely
from Shakilya Ellis. Final, and that will do it. Looked like maybe a little bit of a short round there, Sean.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Funny, I thought that was the last round. I take it you did too. I think that round didn't count, right?
All right.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine, Sean.
That's good.
Sixth and final round.
I don't know. Maybe we're tripping. I didn't score this one, so geometry and mathematics isn't really, I'm more of a history guy. I'm a writer. I like poetry.
All right, this is the 6th and final round.
All right.
Shakilya Ellis comes over the top of the right hand. That's the same shot, albeit with the left hand, that Maria Salinas is maybe hoping can bail her out of this one.
Good feints. Good feints. She's creative. Team wants her to walk her down, as you can hear.
Well, you think about the women from the U.S. Olympic teams who have turned pro. Marlon Esparza, Clarissa Shields, Michaela Mayer, Ginny Fuchs, O'Shea Jones. All of them have won titles, so you know what the expectation is for Shakilya Ellis, and she wants it to be in the very, very near future.
Yeah, the women, they don't waste time. I don't expect her to, 2 or 3 more fights, and she's going to be looking for something big.
Inside the final minute now, as Maria Salinas, you see her gestures inviting Ellis to stand and trade.
Oh, I got it. Don't be content. I'm going to say this now because I'm not sure if I'll have an opportunity to actually, say this to the team. But don't be content. You're a good boxer. You got good speed. You got great skills. Don't be content with just that. Build on the things you need. Build on the power. Build on the punches that I missed. Why did I miss those punches? What punches can set up other punches? I can see that she's got the feint. She's got the foot move. Everything. But build on it. Don't be content with this. There's more that she can do. That makes sense?
It certainly does, and that is one final right hand, and we think that is one final round in this contest, and we have now received official word that it is.
I was going to let that go, man. I felt like we were risking our jobs.
Risking someone's job.
Pointing out the fact that was one more round than we expected, but hey, I think we got everything we expected right there from Miss Ellis. What we call a white glove performance, basically. You watched it. It's all yours.
Let's take a
She did
look back.
everything she needed to do.
Some of the replays here. Shakilya Ellis thoroughly dominant here in her pro debut against Maria Salinas.
Yeah, dominant, comfortable, you know, kind of the list goes on. We knew what we were getting from Maria Salinas, and she did all that, but too slick, too fast, too long, too rangy, just too everything tonight, and it's gonna prove itself, really, like you said before, in the nearest of futures, because most women, they get those shots 3, 4, maybe 5 fights in. So I know that Miss Ellis, she's gonna be looking for a big world championship fight soon, and from the looks of it, she will be ready. I felt like there were moments where she was a little flat. This could have been the first fight jitters, could have been the flight over, who knows? But I think she has the ability to be twice as sharp as she was tonight, and I expect her to be just that in the next one.
So an impressive first outing for Shakilya Ellis. And it looks like we are ready to make this one official as we hand it back to Lupe Contreras.
After going all 6 rounds inside the Red Owl boxing ring, Judge Farbstein scores the bout 60-54. Judge Sandoval 58-56. And Judge Kai scores it 59-55. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. In her pro debut, Shakilya Ellis.